In the quiet moments of old age, many find themselves trapped in an invisible cage built not by walls but by expectations. They become servants to their children, sacrificing their own dreams, health, and happiness to meet demands that often go unspoken but deeply felt. As a doctor who has spent decades observing the lives of seniors, I can say with conviction that this is a grave mistake. In old age, you must stop being a servant to your children and start living for yourself. The years you have left are precious. They are yours to live fully, not to be spent as a shadow of obligation. I want you to hear this deeply because it is not just advice. It is a call to reclaim your dignity and joy. Too often, parents believe their role is to serve their children indefinitely, as if their love is measured by sacrifice alone. But love is not a transaction. It is not a balance sheet to be kept. True love in old age is knowing when to say no, when to prioritize yourself, and when to build boundaries that protect your well-being. There is a common belief that once your children reach adulthood, your job is to be at their beck and call. This belief is reinforced by culture, family expectations, and sometimes by the children themselves. But what studies show is a different reality. Research from the Journal of Gerontology reveals that seniors who maintain autonomy and set boundaries have better mental health outcomes. They report less depression and anxiety. They feel more satisfied with life. The simple act of prioritizing oneself is a form of self-care that directly correlates with longer and healthier lives. Think about it this way. If you spend your days catering to the needs of your children at the expense of your own health, you are at risk of physical and emotional exhaustion. Your body becomes weaker, your mind grows tired, your spirit dims. And ironically, your children lose the vibrant, healthy parent they once knew. The cycle of giving until you break does not benefit anyone. Many seniors fall into the trap of believing that their children's happiness depends entirely on them. They think if they refuse to do something, the family will fall apart. But this is a misconception. Families are built on mutual respect and understanding. Children, especially adults, are capable of managing their own lives. When you step back and allow them that space, you encourage their growth and independence. You teach them responsibility not by serving them endlessly, but by demonstrating self-respect. Living for yourself in old age means making choices that nurture your body, mind, and soul. It means recognizing that your needs are as important as those of your children or anyone else. I have seen countless patients who, after years of putting others first, finally decide to pursue a passion, travel, or simply rest without guilt. Their faces light up, their health improves, their relationships become healthier because they no longer carry resentment or fatigue. There is a profound study conducted at the University of Michigan that followed older adults who engaged in self-care activities and set clear personal boundaries. The findings were striking. These individuals experienced a significant reduction in stress hormones and an increase in positive emotional states. They also reported feeling more connected to their own sense of purpose, independent of their family roles. This shows us that living for yourself is not selfish. It is a necessary act of survival and growth. Now, you might wonder how to break free from the role of the servant. It is not easy, especially when you have spent decades in the role of caregiver, advisor, and supporter. The first step is awareness. You must recognize the moments when you say yes out of obligation rather than genuine desire. When you realize that your physical and emotional resources are being drained, it is time to pause and reconsider. You have the right to say no without feeling guilty. Next, communicate your needs clearly and kindly. Your children may not understand at first. They may be surprised or even upset. But honest conversation is vital. Explain that your health and happiness are important and that you want to continue supporting them in ways that are sustainable for you. Set realistic expectations. Ask for understanding. When boundaries are established respectfully, families can adapt. Importantly, start investing time and energy into activities that fulfill you. Whether it is reconnecting with old friends, starting a hobby, or simply resting more, these choices are the foundation of living for yourself. Remember, your time on this earth is finite. Why spend it on endless sacrifice when you can create joy and peace for yourself? Another element to consider is physical health. Many seniors put their own medical needs on the back burner to care for others. This too must change. Regular medical checkups, proper nutrition, Exercise and rest are the pillars of aging well. By caring for yourself physically, you become stronger and better able to engage in the relationships you value. The American Geriatric Society emphasizes that self-care in seniors leads to improved mobility and cognitive function, which is crucial for maintaining independence. Emotional health is equally important. Often, seniors experience loneliness and depression when they feel used or undervalued. By choosing to live for yourself, you open the door to new social connections and deeper self-understanding. Psychological studies confirm that seniors who engage in self-directed activities and maintain autonomy report higher life satisfaction and less depressive symptoms. This is not just a theory, it is lived experience backed by science. Consider the stories of many who have made this shift. They tell me how liberating it is to stop answering every call or request immediately. They describe the peace found in pursuing interests long forgotten. One woman told me she started painting again after 50 years. Her children were surprised but supportive once they saw how much happier she became. Another man took up walking daily and joined a seniors book club. These changes brought new meaning to their lives. Let me be clear. Choosing to live for yourself does not mean abandoning your children. It means changing the nature of your relationship. You become a guide and supporter rather than a servant. You offer wisdom and love from a place of strength rather than exhaustion. This transformation benefits everyone. Children learn to appreciate their parents as individuals with needs. Parents find joy in their own lives and pass on a legacy of self-respect. You might ask if this is a selfish choice. I say no. Selfishness is taking from others without giving. Living for yourself is about replenishing your well so you can give with generosity and clarity. It is about being honest with yourself and others about what you can and cannot do. This honesty is a gift to all. There is a beautiful concept in psychology called boundary setting. It is about defining where your responsibilities end and where another's begin. In old age, boundaries protect your physical and emotional resources. They keep you from being overwhelmed. Boundaries allow love to flourish without pain. Research from the Mayo Clinic supports the importance of boundaries in senior relationships. Their findings show that seniors who maintain clear limits experience less stress and more fulfilling social interactions. When boundaries are respected, family members often develop deeper respect and understanding. In practical terms, this might mean saying no to last-minute requests, declining to manage your children's schedules, or not feeling obligated to solve their problems constantly. It might mean taking time for your own medical appointments or social activities without guilt. Each small step reinforces your right to live for yourself. To those who fear loneliness as a result of this change, remember this. Loneliness often comes not from being alone, but from feeling unseen or used. When you stop being a servant and start being yourself, you attract relationships that honor and value you. You create space for genuine connection based on mutual respect. Loneliness is a serious issue in senior years. The National Institute on Aging reports that loneliness in social isolation can increase the risk of mortality by up to 30%. Yet paradoxically, when seniors live authentically and set boundaries, they often experience richer social lives. Quality replaces quantity. One of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself and your children is the example of self-care and dignity in old age. You teach them that life does not end with parenting, that personal growth and happiness are lifelong pursuits. This lesson shapes not only your life, but theirs and even the generations that follow. As a doctor, I urge you to evaluate how much of your energy is devoted to serving others and how much to serving yourself. If the balance is tipped too far, it is time to recalibrate. This is not about rebellion, but about survival and thriving. You deserve the freedom to enjoy your days. You deserve the peace that comes from living on your own terms. You deserve to feel respected and cherished not only as a parent, but as an individual. Let me share one final thought. The years of old age are often misunderstood as a time of decline only, but they can also be a time of renewal and rediscovery. When you stop being a servant and start living for yourself, you step into a new chapter of life filled with purpose, peace, and joy. Your children will understand this in time, and if they do not, you will still have lived a life true to yourself. That is the greatest gift of all. So today, take the first step. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to your health, your dreams, and your happiness. You are not a servant. You are a human being worthy of love and care, especially from yourself. What does research say about autonomy and happiness in old age? When we speak of old age, we often focus on the challenges that come with it: physical decline, loneliness, loss of loved ones. But there is a deeper story, one that research has been uncovering over the past few decades. This story is about autonomy and happiness in old age. It tells us that how much control you feel you have over your life can shape your well-being more than almost anything else. As a doctor who has worked closely with seniors, I want to share this truth with you. It is a truth backed by science and by the lived experiences of many who have found joy in their later years by embracing autonomy. Autonomy means having the ability to make decisions for yourself, to choose how you live, and to maintain a sense of independence. It may seem simple, but for many older adults, this sense of control is under threat. Whether due to health issues, family dynamics, or societal attitudes, seniors can feel powerless, like their lives are being dictated by others. Research shows that this loss of control is a key factor that can lead to depression, anxiety, and a decline in overall happiness. A large study published in the Journal of Aging and Health observed thousands of seniors over several years and found that those who reported higher levels of autonomy experienced significantly better mental health outcomes. The researchers measured autonomy through questions about decision-making in daily life, from choosing what to eat and when to sleep, to managing finances and social activities. Those who felt they had control over these aspects reported feeling more satisfied, less stressed, and more hopeful about the future. This is not just a correlation. The study showed that even small gains in autonomy led to measurable improvements in mood and resilience. Why does autonomy matter so much? One reason is that it supports a fundamental human need, the need to feel valued and capable. When seniors are able to make their own choices, they are affirming their identity and purpose. They are saying to themselves and to others that they still matter, that they still have something to offer. This affirmation nourishes the mind and soul. There is also biological evidence supporting the benefits of autonomy. A study conducted at the University of California tracked stress hormone levels in seniors. It found that those with greater autonomy had lower levels of cortisol, the hormone released in response to stress. High cortisol levels over time can damage the brain, impair memory, and reduce immune function. Therefore, maintaining autonomy can protect the body as well as the mind. It is a powerful defense against the physical toll of aging. Consider the social implications. Seniors who feel autonomous are more likely to engage in social activities and maintain friendships. They are not waiting passively for others to decide what happens in their lives. Instead, they actively seek connection on their own terms. This social engagement further enhances happiness and cognitive health. The National Institute on Aging confirms that social participation is linked to lower risks of dementia and greater longevity. However, achieving autonomy in old age is not without challenges. Physical limitations can reduce independence. Family members, often with the best intentions, may step in and inadvertently take control. Institutions and care systems may impose rigid schedules that restrict personal choice. It is vital to recognize these obstacles and find ways to overcome them. One practical approach is to focus on what can still be controlled. Research from the University of Michigan highlights that even when seniors have physical disabilities, they can maintain autonomy by making decisions about small daily activities. Choosing what to wear, what to read, or when to take a walk can empower a person and sustain happiness. This shows us that autonomy is not about being completely independent, but about having meaningful choices. The psychological concept of self-determination helps explain why autonomy leads to happiness. It emphasizes three needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. When seniors feel they can make choices, autonomy, feel effective in their actions, competence, and maintain close relationships, relatedness, they report higher well-being. This theory has been tested across cultures and age groups and consistently shows strong links between self-determination and mental health. Let me share an example from my practice. A patient in her 70s came to me feeling depressed and trapped in her daily routine controlled by her adult children. Together, we worked on ways she could regain small decisions in her life. She chose to rearrange her daily schedule start a gardening hobby, and reconnect with old friends. Over months, her mood lifted, her energy returned, and she expressed a new zest for life. This change was not about physical health alone, but about reclaiming autonomy. Research supports that seniors who regain a sense of purpose through autonomy also experience better physical health. A long-term study published in Psychology and Aging followed older adults who pursued self-chosen goals. These participants showed lower rates of chronic illness and maintained mobility longer than those who did not engage in self-directed activities. Purpose and autonomy work hand in hand to keep the mind and body resilient. It is important to address fears and myths surrounding autonomy in old age. Some believe that seniors must surrender control for safety or to avoid burdening others. While safety is essential, overly restricting autonomy can cause more harm than good. Studies show that seniors deprived of choice often experience higher rates of hospitalization and slower recovery. Encouraging autonomy within safe boundaries leads to better outcomes and greater satisfaction. Families play a crucial role in supporting autonomy. The way children and caregivers interact with seniors can either empower or diminish their sense of control. Training programs for caregivers emphasize respecting the wishes of older adults and involving them in decisions. This respectful approach reduces conflict and increases trust. When seniors feel heard and valued, their happiness grows. Technology can also aid autonomy. Devices that help with medication management, mobility, and communication can enable seniors to live independently longer. Research from the Pew Research Center shows that seniors who use technology to stay connected and manage their health report higher life satisfaction. Embracing these tools can bridge gaps created by physical limitations. In the broader picture, societies that respect and promote autonomy for seniors see better overall well-being among their aging populations. Countries with policies supporting independent living, community engagement, and elder rights report lower rates of elder depression and higher quality of life. This is evidence that autonomy is not only a personal issue but a social responsibility. To those who may feel powerless in old age, I want to say this with all the weight of my experience and the evidence before me. Your life is still yours to shape. Your choices matter deeply. Research confirms that when you claim your autonomy, you invite happiness, health, and purpose into your days. It is never too late to begin. Take small steps. Identify areas where you can make decisions. Seek support from family and professionals who respect your independence. Pursue activities that bring you joy and a sense of achievement. Remember, autonomy is not about isolation, but about control over your life, no matter your circumstances. In closing, autonomy in old age is more than a concept. It is a vital ingredient for happiness. Science and experience both agree that seniors who maintain control over their lives feel more satisfied, less stressed, and physically healthier. This truth offers hope and guidance. If you are a senior or care for one, prioritize autonomy. It is the path to a more joyful, meaningful later life.